Welcome in, anybody watching. I hope you can hear me okay. Happy weekend to you all. A Saturday morning for me, UK. But I appreciate other parts of the world with different time zone. I know Germany is only 1 hour ahead of us. Just putting a bit of lime on Moss Valley, and then I'm gonna got a Valtra cedar. Let us borrow our local store, let us borrow this tractor. It's Valtra. I think that's 420 horsepower, Valtra S. We thought we might as well put it for us paces, because we've only got a class tractor, a small one. Small press. Any of you who play farm sim, a modder called Paul, P-A-U-L, on the mod hub. He also does some nice Fendt tractors as well. Lovely engine sounds on them. I see we've got one or two old Massey Ferguson tractors. I think we've got on the mod hub yesterday an 8400. The only thing I felt was ridiculous on it is you wouldn't have rear tracks. Yeah, I put rear tracks on a tractor that age. I download it, I'm going to test it out later. See what I think to it. I'm eagerly waiting for, I'm patiently waiting for Oxford and David's map to come out. I'm really looking forward to that on console. Any of you who has played this map, I removed all the pig sheds and chicken sheds that are on that mound there. Put a small pig enclosure on there and a sheep one. I don't know, might not have sheep, might have goats for a change. For the milk. But I'm going to roll the angle. Rather than keep going up, I want to go crossways rather than up and down the hill. There you go, I'm going to do it at 20. You can get a nice 75th anniversary edition in the pack, which is quite nice. I actually custom coloured this one myself. I wanted to have a matte finish, not a gloss or a metallic finish. I had a lot of trouble with my console overheating, and it really frustrated me, so I took it to a local guy near me who everybody recommends. He charged me £45. He blew all the radiator and that out in the back, at the back of it and that, took all the bits, and he put some, you don't have thermal paste in a console, you have liquid paste, and you should have seen the state that was in. That was all burnt and dry patches melted away. I think it's something to do with the heat sink, I think they call it, and he said no wonder that was overheating. But touch wood, I better touch wood beside me, my unit. That run like a dream now. Quiet. That used to sound like a plane taking off. It used to sound like Chernobyl. Terrible. But I'm well chuffed. Best £45 I've spent, because my console, that'll be 3 years old, my PS5, in November. So I think I'll take it to him every year or two, couple of years. Get it checked over, because he check all the fans. The HDMI port ain't no problems with. And I was really pleased with it. I shall certainly be using him again anyway. He do consoles and laptops, and his friend does PCs. Repairs. Like you say, a lot of devices now are going liquid. They ain't going thermal based. A lot of the modern laptops, consoles, they do like liquid paste, not thermal. I was talking to my son about it, he's got a PC. He said, you ought to get it done, Dad, because it's only going to get worse in the hot weather, so. And I certainly wouldn't have been able to probably play Oxy's map on it. I'm looking forward to the old Defender coming out as well, the Land Rover by, is it Rossa Mods? Rossa? They do a lot of JCBs in the game. They're good modders, they are. They're bringing out Defender. But that won't be, I know on console it ain't going to be called a Land Rover Defender, but that'll probably be Lizard. But we'll still have one in game. I remember we got 2 or 3 in FS22. We had 2 or 3 in the end. We had an open back ones where you could put canopies over. I forget who that modder was now, brilliant. But they didn't come out till late on in FS22. That was the problem. That was the same as the Gleaner. Are they called Gleaner? The American combine harvesters. They didn't come out till FS22 was nearly finished. Because I used to play 1 or 2 American maps, the smaller ones, and they're brilliant. I think he done 2 different designs, 2 different models, the modder who done them. They're brilliant. Whether they'll come to FS25 will be another matter. We had a Vadestad, the trail drill. I don't know if that's FS19 or FS22. I think that might have been FS19. You could put tram lines in. Because you can automatically put them in now. Now we've got GPS. I know it's only a small thing, but I like how you can roll. I like how you roll your crops in after you've done your seeding. After done your planting or seeding. Because we do it all the while here in the UK, especially where I am, because we've got real heavy sort of clay land, boulder clay. So because that help cover the seed up and break the clods up. Because our old soil let dry out like concrete. We had a farmer out my way. He, when they got his sugar beet out, the ruts were so deep in the field that a friend who worked there was telling me, he was telling me that he had to go on there with a digger, with an actual fully sized digger, and fill the ruts in. He reckon the ruts are 5-6 foot deep. I quite believe it. They got them out just before Christmas, the sugar beet. Or just after Christmas, January, I think. Because they couldn't get them out because it turned wet, that's it. So, yeah, you could say it made a bit of a mess. It's a bit ridiculous how the machine's sinking back. The ground's so bad. You know, September here on this map, and you won't be sinking in that bad. How dry it is over here in September in the UK. You can hear me okay? put some canola in here. I better have a look and see if I bought that. I don't know if I haven't purchased the soil. Let's get the seeder on, put some canola in. I think our sprayer is 36 metres. Our Agrifax. Oh, so we've got to roll that for a start. No. No, we've got that. I better have a look and see. I'll save the game. I better have a look and see what our sprayer is. It is it 30 or 36? 36 metres. Come on, when are you going to put that other bag of seed in? Or pallet of seed? I mean, 3 times round that end. We're going to do at 20 the angle crosswise. I might actually do it 25. 20 would be better. Right, so I got the angle right. The lines are appeared. No, I've got to remember how to do this now. I've got to get our fields up. Right. So we want to put the tram lines in. We want 36 metres. And work an angle 20. There we go. Right, that should work. Hopefully. I'm going to drill the headlands first, that'll just make it easier. Rather than got to keep lift this drill up and down. Right, we've got to set on canola. Right, I better save the game. Start the inside first. I don't know what I'm going to do with that other field with a wind turbine. I might put grass on there. I've got plenty of hay there. I've got a shed full of hay, so... The seed is going down. I'm going to say I thought they broke precision farming. Well, that got an update the other week. I'll have to check and see if the guy turned my my chat off. Then he serviced the console. I'd give this seeder a try. I've only used it once. Quite a nice piece of kit. I think that'll direct drill into the stubble. I'm sure it do. I don't know if they're discs on the front or not. I don't think they are, so it probably wouldn't. They look like rollers. That'd be interesting to see what that pull is like. I know it's 420 horsepower up this hill. That's another reason why I drilled it crossways. Struggling a little bit, but not too bad. I see we've got another farming game in development, Ultimate Farmer it's called. I think that'll be, well, that'll definitely be PC to start off with. Whether that will come to console, I don't know. Whether it even get off the ground or not. We've seen this before with cattle and crops. In principle, damn good game. Which could have went far really competed with giants. So it could have done. I just thought I'd try it. I know it's a big field, but I normally have big seeders and all that where you get it done in no time. So, should I try something different? I don't think that long for harvest start. The barleys are getting ripe over here in the UK, and well, we know over here it's oilseed rape. In America it's known as canola. I think my son said they're going to start spraying theirs off next week with glyphosate Roundup. I thought they would, because they normally do it when oilseed rape is canola is like 3/4 dead, ripened, and then they just spray it off just so it ripen everything up properly. So you normally have to wait 2 or 3 weeks before they harvest it, but I don't think you will this year. I think we've got temperatures in the UK going to hit 37C, 38C next week, so next thing I'll be worried about when it's ripened up is the pods. The pods, what we call shattering. As soon as you hit them with a combine, the seed is coming out everywhere. So when I used to be on the farm in real life, a neighbouring farmer to us, he used to combine his canola oilseed rape in the evenings. he'd be at their combine at midnight. Because obviously the sun and that had all gone down, so there's less chance of it shallow out. Mind you, they do grow varieties now where they put like they spray like a pod sticking sort of repellent, stop the pods from, and you can actually get varieties now where the pods don't shell out so much. Different varieties, how the technologies and that moved on with crops, so they do that sort of thing now. Well, they're short of varieties and that now. When I used to be on the farm, I used to be like 6 foot as tall as me and taller. But now you see the rape crops here, you know, the canola crops around the countryside and over the world, and they're like waist height, sort of 3 foot tall. They're more easy to harvest, that's all I know. I used to work for a farmer and I used to do that harvesting. He used to swath his. He was the only farmer in the area what used to swath it. Have the swathers come in when that's like 3/4 died off. And then obviously they swath it into rows, like the in-game swath of what we got. And just used to drive along with a header and pick it up. That could be a nightmare. Especially if you've got a lot of rain on it. Before you got to pick it up with a harvester. That would all shoot out on the ground. Underneath the swath, could lose a lot of it. I prefer cutting it standing personally. Rather than swath. That must cost more because you're doing an extra operation when you're swathing as well. If any of you got Twitch, and I'd appreciate a follow over on Twitch. I'm actually called Rabbitman1969 on Twitch. Rabbitman1969, and obviously my YouTube channel's Rabbitman39. But I appreciate a follow on Twitch and a sub on YouTube. Don't cost nothing. Don't cost you a penny. Look at the old wild boars out in the field here. Tram lines in. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Enjoy your Saturday and Sunday, your weekend. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks so much, guys. Bye for now.